existed. So you basically would watch. So like it came in like a set where you'd watch like one of the episodes, the whole episode with the video, and then the next one was the original cast like re-recorded just the audio from the script. So you just had to listen to the audio, and then like another episode existed, and then it was finished with like audio because they just taped over those episodes.
Yeah, I've never heard that.
Yeah,
I've never actually watched Doctor Who either.
I watched like the old ones.
There's
I watched the new ones.
real quick. Welcome to this week's Whole Week Costa. Tonight, Kev's back.
Back.
We didn't actually have a hiatus. We just had a short, sleepy episode.
Yeah.
I almost fell asleep on the couch before Kev came over. Tonight, we brought back the beer table. We have Dogfish Heads 75-minute IPA. Guess the bottle? I don't know how my bottle.
I'm trying to get more of the camera here.
Yeah.
Sorry about that springy voice.
Yeah. So that's our 75-minute IPA.
Nice.
It's a Dogfish Head. It has maple syrup, brewed maple syrup.
I'm
So
trying to.
essentially, the 75-minute IPA is their 90-minute IPA and their 60-minute IPA mixed together and then like barrel aged.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really good. It's like a pretty distinct taste.
Yeah.
I had one of the worst beers in Disney. It was
Then we got to go back to Doctor Who.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Real quick.
Yeah.
There's this book called Eon by this author Greg Bear.
Yeah.
They go to a meteorite,
Hmm.
and it's sort of like the TARDIS,
Yeah.
where it's bigger on the inside than it is on the outside. So I think that's a pretty cool concept in sci-fi and reading. Like I forget what story it is. Pretty popular story. The guy has a bag or a purse or whatever, and it's like infinite on the inside. Like he continuously pulls stuff out of it,
Yeah.
but it's just a regular sized bag.
That's a concept actually, and it has a name in like the video game context. It's some like Norse related name, but I guess there must have been some Norse mythology story where someone had a
That's where it's from.
Yeah,
yeah.
but-
I can't think of what it's from.
But it's called that, like whatever it is, like somebody's bag or whatever.
it's
like,
bigger on the inside.
yeah,
than
it's
the
like what that concept's called.
Yeah.
I don't know from the original ones if the TARDIS thing being bigger on the inside, if that was like supposed to be like a cool sci-fi concept or if it was like a joke at first. Like I'm not really sure. I don't know. I've seen some of the really old episodes. I liked some of the middle Doctors, the ones that who's the one I liked? Colin Baker. That's my favorite Doctor. If there's any Doctor Who fans.
Oh.
He was like kind of a weird one. He had like a weird poofy blonde hair. But I liked him. I've seen all his episodes. That's like the majority of the Doctor Who's I've seen.
Well, I asked my buddy Tom. I go, hey, like I used to watch BBC America a lot.
Yeah.
Because they would have like Top Gear.
Yeah, it's a
and,
good show.
Star Trek: The Next Generation. That's
Yeah.
basically all they ever played. And Doctor Who.
And all the Gordon Ramsay shows.
Yeah, all the Gordon Ramsay shows. I'm like, Tom, I'm watching these Doctor Who episodes, and it's either reptilians or robots.
Yeah.
That like, you know,
And,
he goes,
and the old English accent.
yeah, and he goes, yeah, that's Doctor Who. And I was like, well, do they have any other bad guys? No, mostly just reptilians and robots. And I go, oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool. Like then they'll go. Some episodes they go back in time, and like I would just turn it off. They're like, oh, we're in Old England. You
Yeah.
know, so
The my favorite one, and I've only seen maybe 10% of Doctor Who episodes, but out of the ones I've seen, there's one called The Trial of the Time Lord. That's like the big Colin Baker saga, and it's basically he gets called back to Gallifrey for like basically breaking their rules, and is like put on trial, and it's essentially like it's almost like a clip show because it goes between the current trial and then they show other episodes. They show like these other stories
yeah.
to as proof of basically him him breaking the rules basically. Him interfering.
Isn't the rule like he can't interfere?
Yeah, he's not supposed to.
But he continuously interferes?
Yeah, basically.
Oh, okay.
I guess it's like the prime directive thing. It's supposed to be.
Oh, they interfere all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I wonder why that's such a core concept that you can't like interfere in other civilizations and like throughout British sci-fi.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, Next Generation's
Yeah.
American.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
But I don't know. It's a prime directive. Don't don't interfere. We don't want it. Well, I guess they just don't want to put their culture on on another lesser culture or whatever.
Yeah, but I mean that would just make the culture. I mean that would change the culture, but I mean, what's so important about that particular culture that it couldn't be changed? Like when I don't know, like when explorers met other cultures on the Earth, like that was generally a good thing. I mean.
Well, except for the Indians.
Well, yeah, that was actually the first thing that came to my head, and I was like, no, that's a bad example.
Yeah, where the Indians were within a year, 90% of the Indians were killed by disease.
Yeah.
On accident. So I mean, they did give them smallpox blankets, but it was mostly just accident, they didn't know anything about immune system.
Yeah.
So.
There's a really interesting there's an interesting idea about that, and I'm gonna butcher it because I saw some stuff about this a long time ago.
Pete Johnson. You didn't butcher the name at all.
Yeah. But basically the idea that the reason why there were diseases like smallpox to spread to the Americas, but there was no American diseases that spread back to the colonists was because of cities. Because you had, in Europe, you had these cramped cities where you had people squished together in overcrowded spaces along with, livestock and farm animals, on the periphery of that all squished together. So it just, if 1 in a million times, some animal disease, which is probably where a lot of the things like smallpox stuff came from, would easily spread, if the disease that wouldn't easily spread, so let's say 1 in a million times it would transfer from a cattle to a person, that would never happen in America then because things were so spread out, versus in Europe, if you have a bunch of people and animals and everything crammed together, just statistically it's probably going to happen at some point that these diseases are going to spread around and jump species and stuff like that. So that's why we had all these diseases to carry to the New World. For the cities. So,
so you can, because if anybody listens to that, they're gonna be like, "This guy's bullshitting me."
Yeah.
But you can
look it up.
You can no. What I'm about to tell you, you can vouch for me, and you can ask your hematologist coworkers. They can vouch for me. So they explain my blood. Other than the fact that I have rare antibodies in my blood that help prevent colds. For my physical, the doctor explained to me one of the main reasons why I don't get colds or viruses or any of that stuff is because you know the 5 white blood cells you have.
Yeah.
70%. I forget the names of them, but 70% of them are one, and that's antibacterial. And then 60% is antibacterial white blood cells. 30% is antiviral bacteria.
Yeah, those anti-protozoal ones, antifungal.
So the last 10% of the other 3 different white blood cells, right?
Yeah.
So 3 of them are fine.
Yeah.
The antibacteria, I have 7% of my blood is that. 70% is antiviral.
Huh.
It's some crazy thing. So it's switched.
Yeah.
So the antibacterial ones are very, very low, but my antiviral ones are twice what a normal person is. And he goes, "You don't get sick very often, do you?" And I go, "No, not really." He told me that, and this is a doctor, he's an old Jewish doctor. He's like, "Oh, I graduated high school in 62 and then college in 67, all that, that's how long he's been practicing." So he's telling me that the thing about it is that bacterial infections, you get bacterial infections all the time. Your body just takes care of them. You don't ever really notice. You'll just sneeze and all the snot will come out. He said viral infections are the ones that are the more dangerous because your body doesn't take care of them as well. He's like, your body just takes care of them, just wipes them out. And I go, that sounds pretty good. And he's like, I see a lot of weird stuff in your blood, and I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, you're not really sick that often. I go, other than like stomach troubles because of Crohn's and IBS. He's like, oh yeah, that's a whole different story.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
Well, that's good. And at least, I mean, there's a lot of antibiotics, so against bacteria, but there aren't a lot of antiviral stuff. So I guess you had to pick one.
Yeah, antivirals, like And I told him, he's like, well, do you get the just this is where it kind of connects to what you said. He said, do you get the flu shot? And I was like, oh well, we get it at work every year. He's like, yeah, don't. I want to. If you don't get it this year, don't worry about it because you're probably not going to get the flu. And I was like, well, my girlfriend wants me to get the flu because the flu virus can spread to the dog and dog can't. And he's like a flu virus, he's like a flu virus can spread to the dog. He's like, I got to look that up. And then so then he pulls out his phone and he proceeds to look it up in the middle of a thing. He goes, well, I didn't know that. So yeah, you should probably get that.
Got to protect the dog.
Yeah.
Why doesn't the dog just get the flu vaccine?
Yeah. I don't think they can.
Huh.
Yeah. I didn't know until Rachel told me that a dog or flu viruses can spread to a dog.
Probably not all of them.
Yeah.
I don't know. That would be my guess. So there's probably some that more easily spread than others.
Yeah, but also the flu virus is it's one of those things where they admit there's so many flu viruses and the flu vaccine only holds 2 viruses.
Yeah.
And so they could actually have it wrong.
Well, yeah, they try to guess. They try to look at what the most prevalent flu strains are in China since their flu season's earlier. And then they try to base ours on that.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty good education.
Yeah. So, I mean, a lot of years it's pretty good.
Yeah. I should have probably got one. But it's between February and May, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But, all right, so what's the terrible beer you had in Disney?
So, it was at the Pandora area. And it's some pretty cool stuff there. They had a guy in one of those giant mech suits, walking around.
Oh, I would love to have a mech suit.
Yeah. But it was like this, some sort of green ale or whatever. And I'm pretty sure, and I got it, and I was just like, yeah, this is definitely just green Yingling. And then I tried to give it away to a bunch of people because I didn't feel like drinking it anymore. And everyone had been to Disney before, and they're like, oh yeah, I got that beer before, it was terrible, I don't want to drink it. And I was like, oh, and then I just drank the rest of it. But I tried to give it to 5 different people.
Begrudgingly, tried to get rid of it.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, I don't want this. It just tastes like green Yingling. It's fine, but I just don't feel like drinking it anymore. And everyone's like, oh no, it's terrible.
Yeah. Yeah. I went to we had our holiday party at work on Friday. The one I planned. I got real pissed off for part of it.
Yeah.
But I show up and I start setting up. I'm already annoyed because the 2 people that came are just annoying people.
Yeah.
I don't think they know how to use computers, let alone download podcasts. But the one lady could barely walk, and she's like, "Are you just gonna stand there, or are you gonna help set up these presents?" And I'm like, "I gotta wait for the lady, the manager in charge. I gotta get gift cards. I gotta sign us in. I gotta tell them our agenda."
Yeah.
I was like, "Calm down." And then there was 2 parties going on at the same time, and the crew, the serving crew, got mixed up. So I met the serving crew for the other party.
Yeah.
And she's like, I was like, "Oh, can I get a drink?" And she goes over this long list of beers. So I was like, "I'll take a Sierra Nevada because I know I like that." And I take it and I drink half of it, and then I take a deep breath and I drink the other half. And she goes, "I'll get you another drink," right? And then I was like, "Oh, I'll pay for this before the party starts because 2 drinks were included with the party." And I was like, "I don't want those counted towards my, drinks."
Yeah.
And she goes, "I see the people you're with. I assume you're stressed out. Don't worry about it." And so I try to give her a tip, and she's like, "Nah, don't worry about it." So they switched out the crews, and then the one guy I work with, he drinks Coors Light. I mean, he'll drink anything, but he's a Coors Light guy.
How's he travel here from South Philly?
What do you mean?
Drinking the Coors Light.
Oh no, he's an older white guy. He lives in South Jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not South Philly at all.
Huh.
But they have Miller Lite.
He just enjoys shitty beer.
So he comes up, to me, he's like, 2 strikes. He's like, I couldn't bring beer on the bus over. Oh yeah, I got buses for everyone to go over too.
Yeah.
So he's like, 2 strikes, and then they only have Miller Lite, and I go, oh God, And I don't know what to tell you,
Yeah.
right? And third strike.
You should have been like, but it's all crap. Like, just drink whatever.
No, he didn't care. He was just joking with me. And then we got these $25 gift cards, like to come back again, but we couldn't use it on a Friday. You have to use it. You have to use it like on like a Sunday through Thursday. You know, so it's like he's like 3 strikes. He's like, I'm done. But like, you know, he was just joking around. He had a great time. And so our server was like a ticket Nazi. Like, you order a drink, where's your ticket? I need your ticket before I write it down, you know?
Huh.
And then I was like, oh, we got a ticket Nazi. He's like, oh, our server's great. He's feeding me beers. Like, he's like, he gets me a beer, he comes back, he brings me another beer for that beer. I was like, so Saturday, most of us showed up to work on Saturday in the morning. I'm like, how many beers did you have? He's like, I don't know, like 12. So he got on the bus, back, and then drove home. You know, but I guess 12 beers is like 3 of those.
Yeah, but it's like Coors Lights.
Yeah, Miller Lights.
Yeah.
Yeah. So any good Disney stories?
Yeah, a whole bunch, I guess. So we went with 26 people.
Oh my God.
Which was not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Well, I thought you were going to complain a lot more because the first day you started complaining.
Yeah. I mean, I had a lot of complaints, certainly, but I don't know. I mean, the biggest disappointment was it was really our first like big family vacation, and like we had sent Allison, with some of these people before the years like we really couldn't go, so like it was kind of disappointing because like she's already seen everything, so like nothing was really new for her, and she really had no interest in hanging out with us. Like she was basically like a teenager, so like me, Kelly, and Sam like did our own stuff like for part of the trip, but like we really. I don't know. If you look at like our picture roll afterwards, there's like probably 2 pictures of like the 4 of us. There's like a bunch of like me, Kelly, and Sam. There's like me and Kelly. There's like a couple times like Sam just wanted to get a picture with Kelly. So that's pretty much our trip.
Yeah.
Disney's really not made for children. So for those people we went with were like Disney pros. So they had. There was literally an Excel spreadsheet of what was going to happen every hour of every day.
They planned it out like that?
No, for real.
Yeah.
I don't think. I think there was a problem sending it to my phone, but like everybody else has it, like the spreadsheet of like.
I refuse to go on vacation and then have everything planned out. Yeah. I fucking refuse to do that. Like when I went to Italy, we had one dinner planned out, and we had. 3, I think, out of 6 days, we had 3 things planned out. She's like, well, we do this, we do this, we do... No. We can, we'll write them down. Yeah. I'm not buying tickets in advance because I don't want to have the stress. Because you know how it is. You know it's worse for you than it is for me.
Yeah.
Where you go, Monday through Sunday, you're like, you have to be everywhere at a certain hour. Like, I'm not going on vacation and doing that. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
Like that Excel spreadsheet pissed me off.
Yeah. I mean, it was good and bad. The good of it was, I think, in order to really take advantage of Disney, you almost have to do it because, you pay for a meal plan ahead of time, so you want to like take full advantage of that, so you're not spending like a few $100 extra on food.
Right. The meal plan's a good idea. Yeah.
And then you have to take advantage. So the way it works there is you get these fast passes, but it's not just like you have a fast pass for the park. You have a fast pass for a particular ride at a particular time.
Right.
So it'd be like, oh, okay, at 8:30 at the Magic Kingdom we have breakfast, which means everybody's to get up at like 7 a.m. and like get showers and get on the bus.
It had to have looked like Home Alone before they get on the thing. Everybody's like, everybody shower and everything. Like
pretty much.
Four fucking cars show up and everybody's thrown into it.
Every morning, that's what it looked like.
I would have been like, all right, see you guys later.
And then it'd be like, and then at 9:30 is our first fast pass over here, so we're gonna go to this ride, and then at 11 is the next fast pass, and then there's like a couple hours of free time, and then that's our next fast pass, and then we use all 3 fast passes for the day, so a couple of our fast passes regenerate, so we got 2 more here that were planned later. So like that stuff made a lot of sense. What kind of bothered me was that like I felt like sometimes we got the stink eye for like not going with the group on everything, because in my head what would have made the most sense is like, okay, so when we have planned meals, everyone should be there. When we do the fast passes, probably everybody should be there because then you get to do the most rides. Like that's the way you get to do the most things. But then if there's not a planned thing, then everyone's just doing whatever the hell they want.
Right.
Like you shouldn't have to stay with the group. And like I don't know, like it was like sometimes hard to break away. Kelly was really great. I thought she was going to give me a hard time. Like, I thought she was going to be like, oh, we've just stayed with the group for all this stuff. But she really wasn't. She was fine, like, when I was really like, no, we just got to do something else. I don't want to do this. Like, she was totally fine with it all the time.
That's good, because she's a very, like, oh, well, like last time we spoke, she met up with someone for Target for date night.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, her to go, yeah, okay, like, that had to, like, relieve a lot of stress off of you.
It did. That was really good. And I don't know, Allie was annoying because, you know, because we'd be like, oh, we're going to do this thing. She's like, what are the girls doing? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, they're probably not doing anything more exciting than what we're going to do. Like, we're just going to go do this thing. I don't know. So, but again, she was like a teenager, which I guess is my karma because, like, I feel like, so the last time I went, I was in 8th grade and, like, I really, and like none of my other friends were there, but I just really didn't, like, I remember being annoying because, like, I didn't necessarily want to, like, go with my parents or grandparents and stuff. So I guess that was my karma for that. But my only issue on the trip, and you know I'm a crazy person.
Yeah,
so,
you're absolutely nuts.
Yeah. So you know, out of the 26 people, probably half of them I really liked, and then most of the rest I was like could tolerate, and then like a few people like were annoying. There was one guy on the trip who was like typical like South Philly guy. I think he was just like dumb and like annoying and like and probably not a bad guy though. But he and I met him a few other times before this, and he likes to tease Allie, but it's like it clearly annoys her.
Right.
So it annoyed me, and
you were explaining that like that's why she like runs away from me.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what it is.
I was a super nice guy to her.
Yeah, this is the guy I'm talking about, because he's just like too often and like takes it too far. I think anyway, and like Kelly said she's gotten mad about it like a couple times before, but normally she thinks it's just like joking around. It's not a big deal, but it annoyed me. So I really just wanted to be like just one guy to another, like, hey guy, like I don't think that's funny, like you just knock it off. You know, but Kelly like and gave me like basically was like no, like don't say anything. But it wasn't like if she was like, you know what, it annoys me too. It's not a big deal though. Just like let it go for the trip. That would have been one thing. But I felt like she was acting like I was a crazy person that I was annoyed by it. Yeah. And I felt more like too if I did say something, she would have like embarrassed me. She would have acted like in public like I was an asshole.
Right.
So that just made me feel like shit. So then I just got more and more annoyed every time it happened, which was like 5 times a day. To the point by the end of the trip, I was like uncomfortable. Because I felt like Kelly would have gone against me if I said something about something that was making me uncomfortable.
I get the feeling. I understand what you're saying.
So I don't know. And she like never got, no matter how many different ways I tried to explain it, like I don't know. She just like I was being an asshole. Like I don't know. And like obviously I am like crazy about certain stuff, so like I accept that. But I don't know. So that had a big impact on my trip, honestly. That whole thing. And like I felt like we always ended up with these people too, which was more annoying. Like in like the sort of like the subgroup stuff.
Right.
So that was annoying. But other than that, it was a lot of fun. But it was like the schedule stuff.
Some schedule stuff's fine, but there's a point where I'm like, if I go on vacation, I'm like, guys, I'm gonna get drunk real fast.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, but as far as like for the kids, so I mean these are super long days. I mean there's days where we're out of the hotel at 8 a.m, and like, and this is like a Disney thing. This is not necessarily like the group we were with. The Mickey Christmas party is at the Magic Kingdom from 6 p.m. till midnight. So it's for kids, and they're out till midnight. So like the second morning we were there, we're at breakfast, and Sam's just like looking at the food, and he looks like he's about to cry. And then we were sitting with some of the other kids, and Hayden, Brittany's daughter, was like,
"Cool, Brittany."
Yeah, cool, Brittany. Yeah. Her daughter was like, "Sam, what's the matter? You think you're gonna cry?" And Sam's like, I'm just so tired. He was like so sad. He was like, I'm so tired.
Yeah, it is tiring. My senior trip, that's the last time I went to Disney.
Yeah.
But I had a real cool dad. He wasn't technically a chaperone, and I think he got in trouble for it, but I'll get into that in a little bit.
Yeah.
My Disney trip, like, they would wake us up at like 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Take a shower, and we wouldn't get back till 10.
Yeah, it's like boot camp, but with little kids.
Yeah, but like all of us.
Yeah.
So where I work, it's very important that we have our scales. We have little scales because we fill stuff.
Yeah.
Calibrate it every 3 months. The guy who does it is the brother of. So he's the uncle of a guy I used to hang out with who was like 3 years younger than us. He was 3 grades below us. He's the guy who calibrates the scales is the younger brother of the dad.
Okay.
Right? So, and I was like, oh, you're, a couple years ago, they were like, hey man, your last name sounds familiar. Do you know like a John Tate? And he goes, yeah. And I was like, oh yeah, I used to hang out with him. And I was like, your brother's pretty cool. He's like, yeah. So he was an over-the-road truck driver, right? So his dad came down, like brought John down, and he bought us beer in Germany.
Yeah.
Epcot.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he would go and like 10 minutes later buy another beer. He's like, all right, no one touch your beers.
Yeah.
We were all 18, 17, 18. So it was like, I think our group had 4 or 5 people in it.
Yeah.
And he went back like every 10 minutes. So it took him like an hour and he got like 5 beers. Like, all right, we can do these beers. And then like he left the parks, bought 2 6-packs, and then like knocked on the door real like coy and like brought his son over and there was 4 people in a room and his son, so it's 5 people. And he brought 2 6-packs. He drank 2 with us, and then we all had 2 beers. And then after that, he took all the beer bottles and left with him. He's the coolest dad of all time. Because you hear all these stories about people drinking on senior trip and getting in trouble. And it's like, how'd you do it? Like, how'd you not get caught? And our thing was, the dad was super cool and took care of all the trash. He's like, I got wasted on my senior trip. But then you realize, like, his senior trip was when the drinking age was still 18.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. It went from 21 to 18 back to 21,
That's stuff. I feel like that's all. So I think that stuff's all harmless, but like I would never do it. Like that's too like then you're like it's too risky. I don't know.
Yeah, but it is harmless.
Yeah.
And then Sam, his mom had a nursing conference, so she came down and he hung out with us too.
Yeah.
I don't think he was there for the drinking night, which was like the first or second night.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but it was a really fun trip, but we were out of the room like 17 hours.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it was every day, man. The day of that the Mickey Christmas thing. We actually a couple of the nights we left the park early, like 6-ish. Figured the kids could like go home and rest, and then they'd be like a little better for the next couple of days. Which I think was definitely a good strategy, but that night, so like the park closed at like 6, and then like that's when the party thing started. So like only people there for the party with like the wristbands could like stay late in the park. So there was like this dance party. So like Sam was loving that because he was like dancing with all the characters, and he learned some new dance moves. He has like 5 different dance moves. I have like 1. But he was doing like this leg thing, like this salsa leg thing. Then he was doing this leg shake thing. Then he was doing this dinosaur dance. Then he was spinning. And then he was learning the robot from Vampirina. I still only have the 1 dance move.
Yeah. My dance move is another beer.
Yeah. Well, it was funny. We were at I don't know if I told the story before. We were at a quinceañera like a couple months ago. And I was dancing with there was like these older Spanish ladies that were dancing.
No, you never did.
And I was like, I only have this 1 dance move, so whatever you guys want to do is fine. I'm just doing this. Yeah. But anyway, so there's like the dance party was cool, and like he was enjoying that, and all the kids were dancing, and then by like 10 o'clock he was like asleep in the coach, and like thank God because I've never really since when Sam was really little, I never used like a stroller or a coach or anything because I just always carried him. But you definitely needed to hear because they were there so friggin' late that like they needed some place to sleep basically.
Now, did the other 23 people want to stay till midnight?
Yeah, almost. Yeah. Most of these days, people stayed really late.
It's terrible. That just sounds awful. Like that doesn't
Yeah.
sound like a vacation. It sounds like work.
Yeah. So, but then there was like the Christmas parade was at 11 p.m. So this Christmas parade for kids is at 11 p.m. So by this point, Sam's been asleep for an hour, and we like roll up to the parade, and everyone's trying to wake him up like, "Oh, Sam, the parade's going to start," and Sam's like, "I'm sleeping. Leave me alone. I'm sleeping."
Yeah.
So he's like, I don't know. So we had Allie, who was like being a teenager, like a jerk, like a teenager. Sam, who like sleeps like a teenager.
Yeah.
But then it was funny because then we like cram with our like 26 friggin' people on the bus along with like whoever else. So like the bus rides all sucked. It was all like cattle on like these Disney
It was
buses.
just the four of you in one room, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Although we had a room with a shared door, so that was fun. But
Yeah, were they loud?
no, we were probably the loud ones. But
Oh, okay. Knocking on the door. Watch the kids. We gotta fuck.
Yeah, dude, I try that every night. Yeah, I try to get rid of the kids every night. It never worked out.
Yeah.
But then we were riding back in the bus, and it ended up being me, like Sam on my lap, and then we're sitting next to Hayden, and she's talking about like the rides and stuff, and then she looks at Sam and she's like, why are Sam's pupils so big? And I was like, honestly, sometimes he falls asleep with his eyes open. It's real creepy.
I do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure Sam would be a psychopath because then he like sits up and he like says something, and he's like just looking straight ahead, and then Hayden's like, Sam, are you asleep? And he goes, yes. And then she was like, Sam, can you see when you're sleeping? And he goes, yes, I can. And then he like laid back down and went back to sleep.
I used to freak my ex out so many times because I'll fall asleep.
Yeah.
With my eyes open. Like it'll be crazy. It'll just be like this, and you can actually see it on camera where I'm just like.
Yeah.
And she'll like, hey, asleep. And she'll like wake me up like, hi. You know, like, were you asleep with your eyes open? Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes I've like when the Sam's first falling asleep, I'll like go and close his eyes and they'll just keep opening them again. I'm like, just close your eyes.
Yeah. It's like not healthy either.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he usually eventually closes them, but when he first falls asleep, he usually doesn't. But no, it was kind of funny on the trip too because he's really like Sean. Like he's really like my brother-in-law. Like everyone I've ever liked, Sean hates. Sean's like real homebody and like kind of a curmudgeon. And that's definitely going to be Sam. Sam hates everybody I like. So most of the trip, like.
Hey, I don't think Sean has a problem with me.
Probably not. He's probably neutral at best.
Oh well, we talk about wrestling anytime I see him.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. I think I'm not like Sean. Like I'm not, but I'm real laid back like Sean.
Yeah.
So I think that you know what I mean. Like the people that you like are like kind of usually like you.
Yeah.
And no offense, but I can see how people don't like you.
Yeah. So like the people we hung out with the most, because we hang out with in real life the most, were Brittany and Hayden, and Sam hates them both.
Yeah.
and
I can also see that.
I think, and a lot of it is Brittany. I mean, she still teases Sam sometimes and says that she's going to be his mom. So then Sam will just go to her and be like, "You're not my mom," and just like yell at her randomly in public. And she'll be like, "I didn't even say anything." She's like, "But you're not my mom." She's like, "I didn't say I was your mom this time." But he still gets real mad about it.
Yeah. Like they're very like, and I mean this in the nicest way. They're very like self-absorbed women. Like there's a mirror, I'm gonna go look at it, and like you're kind of the same way. So I understand. Like, and I don't mean the rudest way. Like I don't care, it doesn't bother me. But like that's why you like them.
Yeah,
know?
Probably.
Yeah.
But then we ended up getting stuck on the way back. Well, I mean, not really stuck, but it was because we all left. Well, me, Kelly, and Sam left on Thursday, and Brittany came back with us, and everybody else stayed or most people stayed until Sunday.
Why? How?
I don't know, man. We were staying there for 10 days. I was super happy to leave.
Yeah.
Like when we got back in the airport, and got in our car, it was like the best time of my life.
Yeah, you're driving back. You don't even care if the engine's smoking. You're like, oh,
It doesn't
great.
matter.
Yeah.
But
Like what, dude? Italy trip was awesome.
yeah.
But the first time I laid in my bed
Oh yeah.
was better
It's
than the entire trip.
Yeah.
I didn't even lay in the bed that we share. I laid in my old bed that was in the old studio because she had to go do something. So I laid in it for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And it was like magical.
Yeah. It's the best.
And we the next morning we ate
Yeah.
a giant meal. Like we ate like a diner meal for breakfast. It was awesome.
Dude, Sam devoured McDonald's at the airport after like 7 days of Disney food because it's like all the same friggin' food. He ate like a whole large fry in like 3 seconds.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're coming back. So it was me, Sam, Kelly, and Brittany, and the way they had the tickets were that we were all across from each other, but basically Sam was sitting by himself. So it was like Brittany, Kelly, me, Sam, like it was across the aisle. So Kelly switched with Sam, but then they were like in the bathroom at the airport, and then Sam was asking about the plane. And I was like, "Oh, you're gonna sit between me and Brittany." And then he's like, "Oh, I want to sit between you and Mommy." And then I was like, "Sam, that's actually what I want too, because I don't really like planes either. So I would rather we were in like right with Kelly." So then I was like, "Sam, when they come out of the bathroom, tell them that. So look real sad. Tell them you want to sit between Daddy and Mommy. And maybe they'll be okay with it." So we tried it. Brittany was like, "Yeah, Sam, and Brittany in the window seat." So Brittany was like, "Yeah, Sam, I'm keeping the window seat."
She didn't give a shit.
And then, well, I mean, especially after he gives her shit all the time. And then,
See, that's what I mean. Like you would do the same thing.
yeah.
Like if Hayden was like, "I want to sit between my mom and Kelly," you'd be like, "I'm keeping the windows seat."
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't even give a shit.
So then, suddenly we get on the plane, and Sam was scared going there once the plane took off, but now he knew what to expect, and we tortured him with a lot of rides, so he was like a little braver. So he was like, just decided to go on the plane. I think he was sitting next to the window seat. So the whole takeoff is like Sam nonstop. I want to switch seats. Brittany, can we switch seats? I want to switch seats. I want to sit next to the window. Brittany, can I sit next to the window? And it just went on for like 5 minutes. And finally she was like, Sam, you want to sit next to the window? And he's like, yeah. She's like, that's nice. And then we took off. He was excited about it. He leaned over Brittany, looked out the window for like 3 seconds, then fell asleep for the entire plane ride. So it was
the best. It's only like a 2.5 hour plane ride.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, when we got back, it was like the greatest thing ever. And then Sam slept until 11:30 the next morning. So
It's good.
So what that's how exhausting it was that a 4-year-old basically slept till noon.
When did you have to bring him back?
We brought him back Friday. So we left 2 Fridays ago. We came back last Thursday, and then we brought him back like Friday after like Laura was done work. Which that was annoying because so we were, I don't even know what we did during the day. We were just like hanging out during the day, and then we were going to get we were going to get haircuts at some point. So it was maybe like an hour before I was going to take him back, and I was like, oh, let's walk down and we'll get haircuts and stuff. And then Sam's we have this little Hallmark, like one of those Hallmark store things, like the ones that are always in the front that like play little songs that like dance, like the big Christmas ornaments. And he really likes the one we have, so he's like playing it, and it's this little Christmas song, and he's sitting there and he's singing along, and he's like real cute. I cried hysterically because we had to take him back after a week. So then like Kelly's trying to make me feel better, and Kelly's like, babe, he's irking as shit. He's just pretending right now. He's just pretending to be cute right now. But basically, like, that's not real. He's so. But then when I drove him back, I was fine. But I probably yelled at him twice in life before the Disney trip. I yelled at him every time we went to the bathroom for the entire trip.
Why? Was he like just taking his time or shit on the floor? Or?
He's just in his own world all the time. It's I hope he stays in this because it's definitely a good thing. Because
he's 3, right?
Yeah, 4 now.
Oh, yeah, 4, yeah.
But even more than most kids, like he's like not self-conscious in any way. Like he just does whatever he wants whenever he wants. He like has no concept that there's anyone else around him. Like so I felt like, again, with this friggin' group of 26 people, I felt like every time we had to use the bathroom, it was like everyone was getting on line for like an hour-long line for a ride or some shit. So then it's like, oh, we gotta hurry up in the bathroom because then we have to like push through people to like get back to our group and stuff. It's gonna be real annoying. So like, you know, we'd stand next to each other at the urinals. He'd like pull his pants down. He'd pee. He'd be like singing while he was peeing because it's just in his own world. And he's like humming to himself. And then I'm like, Sam, are you done peeing? And he's like, yeah. And then I'm like, pull your pants up. And he's just like dancing and like looking at himself in the reflection. I'm like, Sam, pull your pants up. We gotta go. And then he's just flushing the thing. I'm like, Sam, just pull your pants up. And then I go over and I pull his pants up, and he's like, Dad, pull up my underwear first, then my pants. I'm like, then you do it. Then just pull your pants up. You were standing there for like a whole minute.
Yeah. If you want it done right, do it yourself.
Yeah. But it was like every time was something like that. Or like the one time he like went to roll his sleeves up, so I rolled his sleeves up, and he's like, "Nah, I want them rolled down." I'm like, "You're gonna be washing your hands in 30 seconds. Just leave them up." He's like, "No, I gotta roll them down." I'm like, "Just leave your sleeves up. Like it's not a big deal."
Yeah.
But it was every single time.
Sounds like your son.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically your son. So guess what I'm doing this Sunday?
What's that?
Our first regular season Eagles game.
Oh, that's awesome. I've never been to one.
Dude, it's gonna be great. Like I already told Nate from Colorado, I said, "Holy shit, we can have Nate from Colorado live on the podcast."
We could.
Oh, anyway.
Yeah.
What I was saying is.
You're just going on a totally different tangent.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out how they were related in my head.
So we're going. And like he's like, you want to get lunch? I'm like, yes. He's like, you want to get beer? I'm like, yes. So like the goal was like, I'm gonna take two omeprazole that morning. That's how bad my heartburn is. Like I'm gonna get like $200 cash out. Like I'm going ham.
Yeah.
You know, like it's gonna be fun. We're gonna get lunch. We're gonna drink beer. We're gonna go there. I'm gonna eat hot dogs. We're gonna drink beer. I'm like, give me beer. Come on, beer slave. You know.
Yeah.
I like bring me beer. So
that's what they prefer to be called.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I'm real amped about it because I've never been to one before. He's like, I've been to one. Yeah. And then like we were real worried that the Eagles were gonna like just do terrible, but like they did really well this weekend. So now like everyone's gonna be amped up about it.
Yeah.
And it's a 1:00 game, so it's like we won't have to be there that much in the dark.
Yeah, it's really a shame they lost that Dallas game. I didn't see any of it since we were, I think that was the night we were at the park till midnight. But yeah, Michael Chester actually was texting me updates about the game. So.
Who?
Chester was texting me updates.
Oh, okay, yeah. I got my feet up. Yeah, of course you do. Like.
Yeah. But yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it's just a shame they lost that game, I mean, especially to lose it in overtime.
They would be in better shape right now.
Would they be in first place if they won that game?
I think so.
Yeah,
because
so it sucks.
Because they if they won the Dallas game, they'd be in first place in the division.
Yeah.
They'd be tied with Dallas, but they'd be first place in the division because they won more division games. Yeah. So I think if Minnesota loses and Dallas loses outright, the next two games, and they win the next two games, so basically a miracle.
Yeah.
They wild card.
Do they play Dallas again?
No, they play Texans.
And they play Washington.
And then Washington's the last game.
So does Dallas have to lose both games or just one?
I think both.
Because aren't they only a half game back now?
Do you want me to look it up?
Yeah, look it up and see.
I use my phone because this is too far away.
Yeah. I think they're only a half game back, but I don't know. I don't really like Nick Foles. I don't know. I feel like this sounds like bullshit to say now, but like when he took over as quarterback last year, I wasn't worried at all. And even going through the playoffs, I just really didn't expect him to lose any games. It was just kind of a feeling. I was not so I didn't think it was an improbable Super Bowl. I mean the way the Super Bowl actually happened, to have Nick Foles out-duel Tom Brady was pretty improbable. But the fact that they won the Super Bowl really didn't shock me by the time Foles took over last year. But this year, I didn't think they had any chance for like the last 6 weeks. I don't know.
So essentially, Panthers have to lose tonight.
Yeah.
The Eagles have to beat Washington and them.
Yeah.
And the Cowboys have to lose one more game.
Yeah, I think they're only half game back.
Oh, okay, yeah. Eagles need to win out.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas needs to lose out.
Need to lose out or just lose one game?
Both.
Oh, that's not happened.
Yeah, and then New Orleans has to lose. Yeah, that's not good. They're not dead.
Yeah.
4-6 in the conference.
It's just a shame. I mean, they just blew so many games this year. It sucks.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, the way they played, I mean, they don't deserve to be in the playoffs. But
no, it was just and anybody can say what they want, but it's injury after injury after injury.
yeah,
And then the corners were just terrible. Like
Yeah.
the secondary and the defense,
Mm.
horrendous.
This thing is different though, and maybe it is they're just so thin. But I feel like it must be a systemic thing because, more than the individual guys. Because I mean, their secondary sucked last year. They couldn't cover anybody last year. But the difference was last year when a guy would make a catch, he was tackled. Like
Right.
like they were like the secondary last year. It just seemed like they really worked on tackling. I mean, that was one of the best tackling secondaries like I can remember personally watching. I mean, I don't know if football say they were one of the best ever, but they were the best I personally watched. I mean, they just wrapped guys up. They just tackled well all the time.
Well, for as long as I can remember, the Eagles have never been great at actually tackling.
Yeah,
Like,
and last year they were, and you saw what happened.
yeah, the Eagles you see them, they hit the guys and they try to knock them out of bounds. Like hitting, and not just the Eagles, like a lot of football teams, like that's how they do it. Like they hit them and they're like, all right, they're down. But like these guys get more and more athletic every year. So what's happening is like the defensemen are hitting them and they're like, okay, that should get them down. And they're like, no. Like,
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. So if you can't cover guys, but you can tackle, at least you're not going to get burned for really big plays mostly. Right. But if you can't do either, which is how they were most of this year, I feel like yesterday they tackled pretty well.
Yeah, but they got burned by the Rams a ton. They picked up a lot, but it's great. So I noticed two differences, and this is just my opinion.
Yeah.
That like Nick Foles shows the experience of an NFL quarterback. Like he knows when to slide, he knows when to run out of bounds, he knows when to just end a play. Where Carson Wentz, I don't feel like knows it yet.
Yeah.
But here's the difference between that. Yeah. Nick Foles, if you see him pass a long ball, 30 yards or whatever, the arch on that ball is huge. Like I can run out, like I know where it's going to go. Whereas Carson Wentz, the arch is super small, like it's lasered in, which makes him an overall better quarterback.
Well, he is a more physically talented quarterback.
Yeah, definitely, and so that's where the difference is. Where Nick Foles knows the game a little better.
Yeah.
Like in the NFL, Carson Wentz is just a better guy.
But what kind of quarterback wins games, and what kind of quarterback looks good on a stat sheet?
Carson Wentz, that type of quarterback.
I don't know.
I mean, you got to look at the interceptions, though. The interceptions are super low.
Yeah.
Like,
I personally think, well, two things. So one, I'll say right here that if the Eagles make the playoffs and do anything in the playoffs, I would be shocked. I've thought for weeks that they wouldn't, and
I still don't think they're going to make the playoffs.
Yeah. But just in case, because I didn't say it on the air, but I maintained that last year I was not surprised at all by the Super Bowl run. But this year I would be very surprised. Second off, my other prediction is that Carson Wentz will be a career bust. I just think we've seen this story too many times. This guy that's super talented, gets hyped up by the media, can't stay healthy.
He's on his third year. He's on his second major injury. He has a fracture in his back.
And didn't he have a minor injury the first year too?
Yeah.
So I mean he hasn't played as well this year as he did last year when he was healthy. Right. I don't think he was ever healthy. I think he was still recovering from the injury last year. Well, and it's going to be the same thing next year. He's going to be still recovering from this back injury. Yeah. And it's going to hurt something else.
Here's the thing about Nick Foles too. He's hard to tackle. He's 2 inches taller. And he's 20 pounds heavier.
Okay.
He's a bigger person. Mm-hmm. Where Carson Wentz is like just look at him, like he's a better athlete. Like you like the way he moves, he's quicker, he's a better passer, he's more accurate. Yeah. But like when he gets hit, Nick Foles is more absorbent to taking hits.
So here's the thing. So being the best athlete, the best athlete is not the best quarterback. I think it's really hard. I mean, I'm not going to go out on a limb and say Nick Foles is a great quarterback.
No, he's not. He's a second string quarterback at best.
See, but here's the thing about that. Is he?
He is, yeah.
Because, well, no, but think about it. So all the hype around Carson Wentz, Nick Foles had the same numbers to the point in his career, like the first couple of years. Wentz and Foles had the same numbers. So if you look at that, there's nothing special between either one of them. And then Foles, like is Foles just a guy who had a lot of bad luck? Because then Foles then got the chance to be a starting quarterback for a shitty team, didn't do well, and then he comes back here, he gets to quarterback a good team, and he wins the Super Bowl. Now, I'm not saying he's a great quarterback, but he might be a starting quarterback.
Yeah, but you got to look at consistency.
Well, that's what I mean. But
Like
but is he the victim of his situation?
No, because if you take a surgeon,
Yeah.
right, and he does 12 cancer surgeries, right,
Yeah.
and he botches the first one, and he takes out, something happens, and you're like,
Yeah.
well, it's his first surgery by himself, like, give him that thing.
Yeah.
But then he does 5 really great surgeries,
Yeah.
and then he botches like 3 more surgeries, and you're like, is he a good surgeon? Like, he did really well for those couple surgeries.
But this is my point with Nick Foles, that analogy. What if those 3 surgeries weren't botched? What if those 3 surgeries were impossibly difficult odds? And he just wasn't good enough to overcome the impossible odds.
Yeah, but you don't. But Nelson Aguilar is still the same person he was. Zach Ertz still the same person he was.
Yeah.
So it's like, you're giving, like, Zach Ertz isn't his go-to guy.
Yeah.
What's his name? Alshon Jeffries is his go-to
Yeah.
guy. But you can still throw Zach Ertz. He's still going to catch your balls.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to look at how he throws. You got to look at the arch. You got to look at.
That's what I mean. He's not as good of an athlete.
Yeah, you got to look at his running. Nick Foles has is experience. That's
not
Carson Wentz.
No, he doesn't have that much more experience than Carson Wentz. He hasn't played that many more games than Carson Wentz. He's been around the league a little bit longer.
Yeah, he's been around the league longer, which
a little bit longer.
Yeah, but he's not injured. He's been on the sidelines. He's been coaching.
Yeah.
He's been taking coaching. He helps other quarterbacks.
Yeah, but that's just a positive for Nick Foles, that he's he's absorbed all this stuff while he's had the chance to.
Yeah, he's a smart player.
Yeah.
He's a smart player, but he's not an elite athlete.
What's I mean? But do you have to be an elite athlete? I mean, Eli Manning's won 2 Super Bowls. Eli Manning looks like a moron, and his ball comes out of his hands like a 3-year-old's throwing it. But
Yeah.
he's won 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah, but look at how it comes out of his hand. Like, how high is it? Like, well, now it's not.
It looks terrible.
Yeah.
When Eli Manning throws the ball, it looks terrible.
But you can't predict where it's going to go because it moves so quickly.
I don't know.
Nick Foles throws a ball,
Yeah.
you can go to commercial break, come back,
Yeah.
and it's still in the air.
I just think there's a correlation between athleticism and how good a quarterback is, but it's nowhere near 1-to-1. Because, I mean, if that were the case, then Mike Vick would be one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time.
He is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. You know what leaves Mike Vick out of the running for the greatest quarterbacks of all time? He's fucking 5'10".
Yeah.
If he was 6'4" and he was that athletic,
Yeah.
he'd have 9 Hall of Fames.
I don't know. I mean, how many Super Bowls did Donovan McNabb win? He's an
0.
amazing athlete.
Yeah, he's a big guy too.
Yeah. I mean, he was basically a linebacker, like a big linebacker.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think Wentz is as good as people have made him out to be. I don't think Foles is as bad as people have made him out to be.
I agree with you.
Like, I think Foles is probably an NFL starter. He's not in the top 10, but out of the 32 teams, I think he's better than some of the guys starting. And I just really have this feeling that we just seen this Wentz story before, and it's gonna kill the franchise because you're not gonna give up on him for a few years. He's gonna be hurt every year, and he's never gonna live up to expectations. And eventually, we're gonna begrudgingly move on after we wasted like half a decade.
Yeah, he'll be in the league until he's 40. He'll never go second string either.
Wentz, you think?
No, he'll never go second string.
Yeah, I think he's next Mark Sanchez.
Yeah, no, he's a journeyman. He'll
Yeah.
start for
I think so. He'll just start for a lot of different teams.
he'll start for 7 different teams. He'll play on the Eagles for 3 more years.
Yeah.
He'll be 28,
Yeah.
and then he'll start for 7 different teams in 7 seasons.
Yeah. I mean, I can say it. I just don't.
And he'll win a Super Bowl at 33 again.
Yeah, I mean, I could say it. I mean, he has the talent to do all this stuff, but I don't know. I just get this feeling like it's just not going to be there.
I just think he needs more experience. He has to finish the season.
Yeah, and is it ever going to happen? I mean, because again, I think he's going to start next year, still recovering from the back injury,
Yeah.
and then if he gets hurt again, then that's going to nag into the next year, and then he's going to get hurt again, and it's going to nag
I mean,
into
he
the next
still
year.
has a pretty good passer rating.
Yeah,
Like it's
no,
still pretty high.
He's a really good
It's
quarterback.
30 points higher than Foles.
Yeah,
And like that's not subjective. That's an objective thing. you
yeah.
know?
No, he's a really good quarterback, but I mean, it just. Although the one Nick Foles stat, which to me is one of the most important stats.
He has a 9-inch stick.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
But as a Danny Briere fan, who always got shit because his regular season numbers were just okay, but he was like one of the most lockdown playoff players ever. Like when it mattered, he played well. There was a stat last night that Nick Foles, I forget what it was. It was like about his passer rating, and it was like his passer rating in the regular season over his last like 10 games he's played, he's like the second worst quarterback in the league or something. But then for guys who have thrown more than 50 passes in the playoffs in their career, he's like the 4th best of all time.
Really?
In completion percentage.
That's pretty good.
So maybe he's just, I don't know. And it seems like the team plays differently around him too. I mean, that was a totally different team last night than before.
Oh my God! It was like I hope the game me and Nate from Colorado go to.
Yeah.
I hope he's playing.
Yeah.
Because I want to see that team.
I think he's playing the rest of the year. I mean, what would be the point of risking Wentz?
Yeah, I don't know what a back fracture actually is.
I think they need. It's not something that needs surgery. It'll heal on its own, but it takes a few months of like basically rest to heal.
Like he should. Like hopefully he doesn't play till next year, so he has rest.
That's what they need to do. But do you think the rest of the guys just respect Nick Foles' mastodonic dick, and that's why they play for him like that?
Yeah, like Nick Foles, like, look, if we don't do good, I'm coming to say hi to your wife.
But it just really seems, I don't know, and like it seems like they're both really good guys. But do you think there's just something under? They think like the guys don't like Wentz or something, like that they play for Foles differently. Like I don't know what it is. Or you think it's just they played differently for him now after he won the Super Bowl last year?
They say he likes. Like, they all say they like Carson Wentz, but maybe it's like a Tim Tebow thing. He's so religious.
Maybe. I think Foles is really religious too, though.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
He's like super religious. He I don't remember like all his post-game press conferences. He would start with like all glory goes to God.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. No, they're both super religious. Which I think that was one of the interesting storylines last year. Is a lot of the guys on the team were very religious, and I always wondered if that was something that like brought the team together.
I don't know. Kelsey's not.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
I've heard his speech. It's one of the best speeches of all time.
It really is, yeah. But I don't know. Yeah, but yeah, I just think maybe my theory was that the fact that Wentz always throws to a white guy, maybe they don't like that.
But they have, yeah.
He always the only guy throws desserts. He's the only one.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there.
Well,
Foles not a racist.
Yeah, Kev's back from Disney. Now he's a racist.
Yeah. Well, I'm not, but Carson Wentz might be. That's all I'm
Okay.
saying.
Well, that's it for this week's Whole Wheat Costa.